Steve Gamache here with the Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review, and we are checking out the Takeda stainless clad Aogami Super Funayuki, and it's always a pleasure to open a knife box from Takeda. Their craftsmanship is just very evident as soon as you pick the knife up, and I'm always in awe of the nice grind they put all the way down to that edge zero grind. It's really something to see in person. So these are just awesome knives to handle. The core steel is, again, Aogami Blue Paper Super Reactive Carbon Steel. The heat treat's about 62 Rockwell, so Takeda does not take it up to a super high hardness like some makers do, and that gives you a little bit more forgiveness on the steel. The construction on this line, he's got two lines. The classic line, which has a soft iron cladding, and this stainless clad line, which again has a stainless cladding, and they both have a Kudauchi or blacksmith finish. The stainless finish is quite a bit smoother than the more rustic classic line. So performance-wise, they're very similar. Geometry-wise, they're usually quite similar, although these will vary quite a bit from knife to knife because of the way they're handmade. But in general, they're quite similar, with the finish being much smoother on the stainless line than the classic line. So both are great. The weight on the knife is very light at 4 ounces, 113 grams, and most of Takeda's knives are quite light for their size. The blade length is about 170 millimeter on the edge, and that again will vary from knife to knife, as will the length and the spine thickness and the height and so on. This one's just about 12 inches long, and the spine thickness at the heel is about 2.8 millimeters at the back of the knife, and then it thins out just a little bit and kind of gradually goes a little bit thinner, tapering towards the edge until you hit the grind of the knife and thin right at the very tip. The blade height on these is quite generous, as is most of his offerings. And the blade height is about 50 millimeters tall at the heel. So again, characteristic of his style of blades. The handle type is an octagonal rosewood. I had a little typo in my sheet there. Handle with a buffalo horn ferrule. Nice handle, nice fit and finish. I'll show you a close-up, but they do quite the protective job of sealing up the end point of the handle where it fits into the tang of the knife blade. So let's take a look closely at the blade itself. So again, you've got that fairly smooth Kudauchi finish. There's the maker's mark and the NAS, which indicates the stainless line. Here is your core steel showing at the very edge of the blade. And so here's where the main grind starts. These blades have kind of a little bit of a hollow to them, kind of an hourglass design. So when you feel them from the spine, it gets a little thinner here, kind of a little bit of a cup to it, concave to it, and then it gets a little thicker right there where the grind starts and then down to the edge. That really helps quite a bit with food release. These knives are known to release food quite well given their blade height. The knife has really a great edge on it because this grind goes right to the edge. There's no secondary edge bevel. It's just called a zero grind. It goes right out to the edge, and these are stinking sharp out of the box. So this is a solid 8 out of 10 out of the box, and these babies just scream out of the box. If you want, you can grind them straight like that when you sharpen them, or you can put a very small micro bevel on them. Up to you how you want to handle that. But his implementation of Aogami Super is excellent. It's known to be done extremely well. He's got a lot of experience with that steel, and you won't find much better implementation of Aogami Super than a Takeda. So let's see, balance point on this blade is right there in front of the handle, and they seal the handle up really nicely at the top with some clear kind of slightly flexible epoxy style stuff. Some people don't like that. I think it's awesome because it's nicely done. It's well executed, and you're not going to get any moisture in there on the tang at all. It is sealed up really well. And this just feels like a tool that is ready to go to work in the kitchen. They're that kind of blade. On the edge, let's look at what the profile is going to look like. It's quite curvy, so there's not any flat spot on this, and you can see I'm just rocking away here. If you're looking for a chopper, this is not it. And you can see I'm just rocking this blade here. So this has a lot of belly to it. And I can get about right there. I can get pretty high on it, but this is a curvy profile, to say the least. You can also see that here in the camera as well. So there you have just a super cool blade, great craftsmanship, a lot of character and soul to it. Super nice implementation of Aogami Super. This is the stainless clad line. This is the Takeda stainless clad Aogami Super Funayuki.